Welcome to this BVTV Global Network Trilogy coming to you from the UK studios of BizVision. I'm your host, Malcolm Gallagher. I learned early in life that a customer means paycheck. Put it bluntly, without a customer, you don't eat. But I also learned early that it's easier to sell to an existing customer than to find a new one. So my early sales strategy was to go that extra mile for each customer with the aim that I would get their loyalty. Now, I have to say, I was doing that out of my own instinct rather than being systematic. And I often got told off by my then managers for doing what they regarded as wasted and unproductive time. Today, more than ever, what I learned all those years ago is, to my mind, the route to success. And I'm glad to bring you a trilogy of videos with a guest who thinks likewise. She's the author of this book, Onboarding Matters: How Successful Companies Transform New Customers into Loyal Customers. Welcome, Donna Weber. Hello, Donna.
Malcolm, thank you so much. It's such a privilege and a pleasure to be here with you today.
Well, I'm delighted to talk to you because beforehand you were telling me you actually, whilst you come from California, you had a boyfriend from West Yorkshire.
Absolutely. Yeah, I lived in the UK for 10 years and I'm a dual citizen now.
Ah, right. Well, they do say that Yorkshire's strong, but this is Northumberland, so we're even stronger. Donna, as you can imagine, with my deep belief in focusing on building loyalty, I've got a lot to ask you across your customer onboarding trilogy. So I'll not waste any time. Nobody should be in business if they don't know the importance of a customer and the value of loyalty. That's my belief. So a multi-part question for you. First, what is customer onboarding? Second, why is it that so many companies don't have even some semblance of an onboarding structure? Is that they regard customers as disposable? Over to you.
Well, I'd like to, I actually have an epigraph in my book, Onboarding Matters, I'm going to read. So onboarding is the action or process of familiarizing new customers with your products and services. And to be honest, Malcolm, even though our world is turning more and more into a subscription economy, I work with mostly business to business companies where they sell software as a service, which is SaaS. I'm sure you and your audience are familiar with that. But I don't know about you, but I get a lot of things on subscription now, whether it's supplements, vitamins, cosmetics. I've seen subscriptions to sell underwear. It's more than magazines and gym memberships these days. So companies are realizing it's not just about getting a new customer; they have to keep them. But I believe that companies are stuck in the old sales mentality, where it's all about getting a new customer, being out for the hunt, capturing a new logo, hitting the end of the quarter numbers, hitting the end of year numbers. Everyone's still really fixated on that and missing out on the reality is that 50 to 80% of revenue, of the recurring revenue, is coming from existing customers.
Yeah. It's that customer lifetime, isn't it, that people forget about. So why are they forgetting about it? Why is there still this focus upon numbers? Is it, as you say, just because it's something out of heritage, what we've always done?
I think it's a part of what we've always done. The sales and marketing engine have become much more sophisticated over the last decade. They have marketing automation, email campaigns, the right content for the right time for the right user. They have data-driven insights. Every little touch point is measured and monitored and measured. And yet when we close the deal, and I'm talking mostly about these business to business companies, that's who I mostly work with. Yeah. But when we close the deal, then it turns into this ad hoc, let's use hope as a strategy. We hope that the customers implement the product. We hope they use it. We hope they get value. We hope they buy more. We hope they tell their friends. And there's this whole industry called customer success, which has grown up around the last 10 years, and which I'm part of, but we're still, growing. So we're like a teenager now. There's a lot of enthusiasm and collaboration. which is awesome, but we haven't reached that sophistication level where we're, really delivering the right touch at the right time and measuring every component along the way. So unfortunately, it's often very ad hoc. It's very reactive. A lot of companies wait until their customers have problems. Customers don't want problems. And traditionally, those customer-facing teams have been siloed. So there might be professional services or implementation teams. There might be support teams, education teams. There might be customer success teams, which are more new onboarding teams. But they're all kind of siloed. They're thinking about their internal metrics than really guiding the customer, delighting the customer, and driving them to value.
Yeah. I spend a lot of my time with one of our channels called the Supplier Channel on interviewing buyers, particularly procurement in the procurement world and purchasing. And one of their constant complaints is the lack of post-purchase support. They say, somebody comes in and they never keep the promise. And the keeping of the promise is the bit that surfaces time and time and time and time again. So why is this? I just can't get it into my brain as to why customers can't understand, businesses can't understand the value of repeat customers.
I completely agree with you, Malcolm. It baffles me because there's something where with selling to new customers seems very sexy. It's the adrenaline rush. It's the hunt, as I said before. For some reason, it's just too thrilling. And even though, with the subscription economy, the acquisition of the customer, it costs more. And because you're being paid over time, it's like your customers are renting your product rather than buying it. So you're not getting full payment up front. So you're getting, monthly rent or yearly rent. And so you're not getting all that money up front. So if you don't keep that customer, you're actually losing money. So if all you're focusing on is bringing in new customers and then they're slipping out the back door before they can renew, your company could be in a death spiral and you don't even know it.
Yeah. I suppose also people don't underestimate the value of good quality testimonials that come from well-serviced customers. Is that true, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. So every time you make a sale, there's an opportunity for 2 more sales. So if you get fixated on that first sale, you don't want to, if you lose that customer before they can buy more, the expansion sale, which is the second sale, or, get to thriving success where they're going to become your loyal champion and tell all their friends and colleagues, that's the referral sale. So, if you're not doing that first sale and driving customers to success, then you're missing additional 2 sales.
Brilliant. Donna, let me remind our audience of your URL, which is obviously, viewers, you can see on the screen behind me. But for listeners, let me spell it all out. It's all the W's, Donna, which is 2 N's, Donna, Donna Weber, which is Weber. DonnaWeber.com. Donna's book, this one, Onboarding Matters, How Successful Companies Transform New Companies into Loyal Customers, is published by Springboard Press. Donna, thanks for a great start to your customer onboarding trilogy. In our next episode, I want you to help us to take the first and the right steps to building that loyalty. Thanks, Donna, for episode 1.
Thank you.